This is a 2023 Range Rover plug-in hybrid SE in Belgradvia green. And that is a Tesla Model X in their multi-coat pearl white. This specific model, this Range Rover, costs $126,000. Model X 5-seat, $80,000. So it's crazy to think that the Model X is actually a huge bargain, but I'm going to show you some differences between the two that actually separates them a ton, some of the unique luxury features of the Range Rover, and then obviously the Model X is a very unique car and arguably the best luxury electric vehicle. Performance from the Range Rover comes from a 3-liter turbocharged 6-cylinder gas engine with plug-in hybrid electric motors, getting it to 434 horsepower and 457 pound-feet of torque through an 8-speed automatic transmission. It has electric power-assisted steering and has an air suspension with adaptive dynamics along with all-wheel steering. This specific model has 21-inch alloy wheels, and they also option for a full-size spare which sits in the trunk. This has the Nickel Atlas exterior pack and also has soft closed doors, sliding panoramic roof with power sunblind, which can be controlled from the rear. The other interesting thing in the rear of this Range Rover, you can control the driver and passenger side rear windows no matter what side you're sitting on. You can toggle for which window you're controlling. I have never seen that in any vehicle I've ever driven. This also has the heated and cooled front seats with heated and cooled executive class rear seats. That itself is a $4,200 option. Normally this car is $110,500, but there have been $16,000 worth of options put on it. And surprisingly, this beautiful color was free. It also has black Brembo brake calipers. The headlining is called Ebony Morzine. It has illuminated seat belt buckles. And listen to this, it's a premium non-leather upgrade. I think they are trying to tell us that these seats are somehow pulled out of a recycling bin. Now the Tesla has these Falcon doors, which are insane, and they're kind of a show as well. I'm considering buying a Model X, and I'm thinking to myself, do I want to show up somewhere and when you release the rear doors, I don't know, it looks like the circus is about to get out. But as you saw, when I sit in the back of this, I have plenty of room to lounge, plenty of room left and right and everywhere, especially in front of my knees at 6 feet tall. The surprising part about the Range Rover is there's not that much space in the back, and I don't know if it has to do with the executive package seating, but look, it's pretty tight. So if we get up in here, and it's high to get up in, a lot harder to get in and out of this car, there's just not as much room. I thought this was going to have a ton of space back here. That's definitely not the case. It's not bad, but you'd think for a car that's this size, and this car also weighs 5,900 pounds, that weighs 5,000 pounds. So everyone says, oh, electric vehicles are so heavy. That's true, they are heavy. But there's a lot of other cars, you don't realize how heavy they are. So one disappointing thing with the Range Rover is the space. The trunk, 24 cubic feet of space. Model X, 37 cubic feet of space. Plus you have the sub compartment and the frunk. So you have way more storage in the Model X. Where the Range Rover kind of wins is its driving dynamics seem to be more refined. Now the Model X is excellent. The road noise is very low in both of these. The sound system is excellent in both of these. This has Apple CarPlay. This has Tesla's infotainment system. It does not have Apple CarPlay, but Tesla's infotainment system, in my opinion, is excellent, whereas these companies have to lean on Apple CarPlay to have anything that someone is going to know how to use. The sound systems, I would say, are equivalent, and that's surprising because Tesla's sound systems are excellent. So the sound system, the Meridian sound system in this is great. Let's take a look at the trunk here. You know what else I really like is this rear valance along the bottom here. It's just a clean, sleek look, probably helps a lot with aerodynamics. Press that button to release the bottom. This carpet here is nicer than anything that Empire Flooring sells. And I also have, like I said earlier, a full spare 21-inch wheel. That's crazy. It's only a $450 option for that wheel, so it's not awful. Carpet is very nice. Again, you have good space, but not a huge amount. You also notice right here, we have the up and down. This is to lift and lower the car. So if I hit this, you can hear the air suspension release. It actually brings the car down a few inches, so it's easier to load something in. Once it's loaded in, press that. and it lifts right back up. This has a lot of luxury features. My issue always with Range Rover has been these have off-roading features, water weighting. You can see how high the water is coming up on the car. These have features that most people are never going to use. The Tesla has a lot of features that you're going to use every day, and it's a much more efficient vehicle. With that said, this brings, I feel, a higher level of class to it, where the Tesla can feel almost video game-like, still a luxurious package. And again, that's just my opinion. You may drive the Tesla and say, this is the greatest thing ever, and that's fine. This just seems a little bit more prestigious to me, and that doesn't make it a better car. That's just kind of how I feel while driving it. Maybe that's because it says Range Rover and it's in Belgravia green. Maybe that's why. And maybe it's because the carpet in here is nicer than the carpet in my house. But despite all of that, it still lacks in some features. So I always said I hated plug-in hybrids because I thought it was the worst of both worlds, and it arguably is. So with a plug-in hybrid, you have to charge your car, and this comes with the car, so you're able to see. Just put it in a normal 120 volt and plugs in right here, okay? So you're able to plug this in, and you're able to use it on full electricity. So if you're going to the grocery store, picking up the kids from school, anything like that, you're able to use only electricity, and that will make your running costs cheaper. The problem is, like with this Model X here, 0 to 60 is 3.8 seconds. I can rip that thing. It has drag strip mode, so it has all these performance features and instant torque that you benefit from with driving an electric vehicle. Whereas this, you're carrying extra weight of a battery. If the battery's not charged, you're just dragging weight around and the engine has to work harder. So you can see why it's the worst of both worlds, but also the best of both worlds, because you can use that electric range. Then when you run out of electric range, the gas motor kicks in and you can hit any gas station in the country, be in and out in 3 minutes. Whereas the charging, it's not for everyone. Everyone's like, oh, the charging. Personally, on road trips, you end up stopping anyways. I just did a road trip in a hybrid. You end up stopping before you have to charge or when you would have charged anyways. So it's kind of overblown in a lot of cases, but this is, I like that you can fully run this on electric, and that's why I'm kind of leaning toward liking plug-in hybrids a lot more as of lately. The seats up in the front here, these are, again, heated and cooled and massaging. Massaging seats are cool. I've tested them in Mercedes, BMW, and now this Range Rover. It's cool, but the happy ending at your local massage parlor and the quality of the massage will actually be better, as opposed to paying for that to be in your seats. It's just not good. Now, back over in the Tesla, you have the infotainment system with a screen that tilts side to side. You have an infotainment system that is constantly updated, and meaningful updates are sent to this, which improve the quality of the car. And now, while it does lack some luxury features, like for example, in the back here, this is just plastic and empty, and your cup holders are down here, which that's not the worst thing. What I actually do like about this is the fact that this middle seat is a true comfortable seat. This is just as comfortable, I think, let's see, basically just as comfortable as sitting in these other seats, where in the Range Rover it isn't. Now, are you gonna have a car fully packed of people? If you have a 5-person family, okay, maybe. But the rare occasion that is happening, you're not gonna care that much about the middle seat. I just like the fact that they actually took the time to make this a comfortable seat. So the Tesla on the exterior is a very plain, minimalistic looking car, but the technology packed into that infotainment system is overlooked by a lot of people. And the fact that this is $30,000 to $40,000 less than that Range Rover. It's an electric vehicle. I own a Model Y of 65,000 miles on it. I've done no maintenance. The maintenance and gas and putting things in that over time is really going to add up, whereas this, your $80,000 that you paid, it kind of just stays there, and then you use some for electricity. And if you're charging at home, the electricity that you're charging with at home is most likely very cheap, which in this case makes the Model X a huge bargain. And I would have to say, if you're looking to buy between the two of these, you got to test drive both of them. Tesla is excellent with their test drives. This one I did an overnight test drive to make sure the doors and everything would work in the garage, and they do. So I just think this is surprisingly a bargain in this comparison, and you should heavily consider this. Unless you're going on ski trips and off-roading and camping, that may be the better option for you, but I think for most of us, this is going to be the better option. Better performance, lower running costs, Falcon doors. I just think it's an incredible package, and I'm actually surprised I'm saying that. The Range Rover is not a bad car by any means, but for this comparison, I think the Tesla wins. Now, if you want to see what Tesla charging is like on a road trip, click this video right here. That'll give you an idea of how much time it'll add, and if it's a nuisance driving across the country 2,000 miles. Check this out.